What is up, Bulls Nation? Peck here. We got a live CHGO Bulls postgame coming up for y'all right around the corner. Bulls take down the champs. 117-108 is the final. We're in the win at the Boston Garden. Zach LaVine goes off for 36 points. Nuggets? What's up? We're breaking down this one coming up next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls postgame presented by Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck Bulls _ Peck. That's Big Dave. Bow! Bow! AWL Sports. That's Will the Goat. Perfectly Quaff Gottlieb. Will _ Gottlieb. Queen of the controls. Queen of the Portillo's order. The one and only Katie W. What's up, Katie? Hey.
Hi, I forgot to turn the comments back on. I'm doing it right now. I promise. I'm doing it.
Turn the comments on.
Turn the comments on. Step in time. Turn the comments on. Bulls. Bulls win over the Celtics. 117-108. Dave.
Katie.
The Bulls win.
The Bulls win. Hit them, Katie. Bulls win. Smack them again. Bulls win. Drop the bomb on their face. Bulls win. Oh, Zachary.
Woo! Thank you all for watching and hanging out with us tonight. If you are hanging out with us on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button so Katie doesn't have to bug you about it and you don't get bugged about it by Katie.
And she will.
We got a Goon of the Night coming up.
We do.
We've got a Bulls upset win over the Celtics to talk about.
Yes.
Their third straight win. Some might call that a winning streak.
Mm-hmm.
Bulls fans, I know that we don't really know a whole lot about that term in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a winning streak. The Bulls improved to 13 and 15 on the year. Sometimes 4 under, sometimes 2. Always 3. This is what we do.
Victoire des Bulls.
But, gentlemen, the headline of this Bulls win over the Celtics, Zach LaVine, 36 points on very efficient 11 of 9 from the field. 6 of 11 from downtown.
Oh, Lord.
Doing some playmaking, keeping the turnovers down on the heels of some reports that there are some playoff-bound teams out there who might be interested in his services. That was Zach LaVine's third 30-plus point night in his last 4 games.
Oh, my goodness, man.
Reminding everyone in this league that a healthy, determined Zach LaVine is an all-star player.
36
on the road in Boston.
6 and 4. Like you said, 6 threes, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, and 1 turnover. That part right there, the 1 turnover is wild. Look, man, Zach, the attackery of Zachary was unbelievable. Blackery. It was special. He was doing his thing, man. Every way you wanted, that's the way he gave it to him. You wanted to catch and shoot, he got you. You wanted to step back, he got you. You wanted the pump fake, get to the bucket, he got you. Step up, behind the back, mid-range, got you. Get to the bucket with the lay-in, the up and under lay-in, got you. Free throw line, got you. Like facilitating, got you. Like everything he just did, he did correctly for the Bulls, and nothing felt forced. Everything came to him. He knew when to take his spots. He knew when to take his shots. He knew when to put the ball on the floor. He knew when other players needed to have the basketball. Like, it was a very complete game by Zach LaVine. He has just been unreal. He really has. And you're beating the Boston Celtics on their home floor. Like, they've only lost 3 all year. And now they got 4 because Zach LaVine said, we're not losing this game tonight. We're going to go ahead and take this victory. So he was amazing. Denver, I hope you saw that.
It feels good to be on the right side of history with
Do
the
tell.
Zach LaVine stuff. I
Do
think
tell.
all 3 of us are.
Black.
Do tell.
Because the last year, everybody's saying that he was no longer elite, that he was injury prone, that he was no good at defense, that he couldn't pass, that he's a losing player, all this stuff. And we sat here and said, you're wrong. And guess what?
Connor in the comments just said, I think Zach stomped out that whole winning player narrative with this one.
Yeah, you are bringing back memories of that. You're right.
He's just been really, really good. And it's not just that he's been like the best version of himself. I think he's added some, maybe not like new elements to his game, but he's added a maturity that he didn't have before.
Ooh, yes.
And I tweeted a clip of him making...
Was it his two-man game with Vooch?
Making a drop-off pass to Vooch in pick and roll where he just like completely manipulated the way that the defenders were guarding him.
Yes.
Waited for both to collapse on him and then dropped it off to him. And it's not like he couldn't ever make that play. And it's not like he wasn't ever a willing passer. I think he was, but I think it was just that he wasn't like a step ahead of the defense. It was just like, how can I get my shot? And this year, I mean, it's not like he's racking up 10, 8, 9 assists per game, but that's the kind of thing that he's showing he can make good plays as a lead ball handler in late game moments. And that's the kind of stuff that we've all been questioning over the last however long we've been doing this. So very, very impressive game from Zach tonight. Not just the scoring, which was incredible, but just all around. I thought he was good defensively. He was communicating. This was the most locked in I've seen him on that end. I mean, just this whole year, I think he's gotten a lot better in that regard. And it's just really cool to see the way that he is approaching the game and approaching himself. And I think that really deserves a ton of credit.
Rob in the comments brought up that play you were just talking about, saying the late game clear out, directing Vooch into that layup off the pick and roll is probably the highest basketball IQ thing I've ever seen Zach do.
I went nuts, bro. That was just a special play. Like you said, we just not used to seeing him do. And I talked about this on a previous show.
Like Mahomes baiting somebody into committing to him, and then he flips a little touchdown.
Yeah, just hit you with like that. I talked about this on a previous show, that the other thing that is a sign of his maturity and his growth is his ball handling. Like, I don't freak out anymore when he's bringing the ball up the floor, because I'm used to seeing him get the ball, dribble into a corner, and bad things happen. I'm used to seeing him dribble off his leg or try to force so many things. He's doing none of that. Like, everything just looks smooth. And it's to the point where you're looking at the teammates around like, no, y'all should be showing yourselves, Zach. Show yourself you're open so he can hit you with the ball and not just be out here dribbling. Like, because the first part of that is gone, which is Zach dribbling and doing it correctly. Now you're looking at how the play is being run. And he is allowing that to happen by just being really mature and really good at what he's doing right now, man. So, I mean, we used to scream about him getting the basketball and bringing the ball up the floor. Like, dude, you should not be doing this. Please stop giving him the ball to do this. Now he's getting it against double teams and knows immediately where to go with the ball. Immediately he knows what to do. And now he gives himself space. He doesn't panic when he sees a double team. He'll even step back a little bit and let guys, when they're running that pick and roll and they're trying to decide if they're going to double team or not, or if they're going to switch, he allows them to figure it out. Like, okay, what you going to do? You going to do that? Okay, now I know what I'm going to do. So he's not to that level where he's just attacking that, but he's allowing himself to process the information. And that's something we were rarely seeing him do in these previous seasons, man. And I think maturity is a great word for it, Will, because he has definitely grown in his game and he just looks super duper legit.
Yeah, and I think like there was a couple plays there while we were doing a live watch along. If you guys are joining us after spending that whole game with us while we were watching it, thank you so much for coming back. For those of you that weren't with us, maybe next time you can join us. It was a lot of fun. But one of the plays that we were calling out was there was a screening action. I can't remember who was the screener, but Zach kind of just waiting for the double team to leave him. And like nobody was coming to help him out. And I feel like I feel like
that was the end of the second quarter. It was about to end.
I think it was in the fourth quarter. Maybe there were a couple of times that it happened, but it just felt like there's moments where you could see, okay, this guy's like good enough to where you put some really good players around him, he's going to make the right plays. And when he's shooting as well as he was today, I mean, you're going to find a good shot, whether it's him taking it or whether him dropping it off to Vooch or whatever it is. But I just felt like there were a couple of moments where, like, if the Bulls didn't win that game, that's what I would have looked back at and said, like, could they have gotten a better look on this possession? And like, who could have kind of helped awareness-wise, helped him create some more leverage in that moment. And obviously it worked out for them anyway because of the way that Zach carried them. Vooch, I thought, had a really nice game as well, especially in the first and fourth quarter, kind of quieted down a little bit.
Quietly efficient. Vooch was 7 of 9 tonight.
Yeah, 16 and 14 with 4 assists. This was just a really spectacular game for the Bulls. Now, I will say this, and we should talk about the Celtics and the way that they played. They are the best three-point shooting team in the league. They shoot the most threes of any team in the league, the most threes of any team in NBA history, and they make them at a very high rate. 14 of 56 today, 25%. So they weren't making their shots, and certainly the Bulls benefited, but they also, made 19 of their 52. Like, they were doing their thing, and they were not the way that the Celtics can beat teams down on both ends. Like, the Bulls were not falling victim to that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you laughing at?
Alberto said, go get that carrot. Let's get that carrot.
Oh, no. No. Look, I mean, there are Bulls fans feeling different ways tonight. No expert in the comments said, Zach's best audition yet, right? So we're going to get a haul, right? Ha, 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 ha. Dot, dot, dot. Ha. And then somebody else, Lars, I think, just said, like, screw it. Let's just see how this winning thing works out. Somebody else, there are plenty of people in the comments being like, well, should we just ride this out? Should we just ride this out?
No. Look, man, he's like, I'm so happy right now. I don't even want to upset myself, but I feel like I'm going to. That's what was going on in his brain. That's what was happening right there. Listen, before you even, because we're going to get into that conversation, I'm sure. But I just want to keep it here on Zach, man.
Yes, please do.
And just what he's doing, dog. Like, it's just so special. It's everything that we always said he was, and just removing some of the flaws around it to make it a more clean cut, like Will Gottlieb with a haircut. Like, we know the coif was amazing without it, but when you get the haircut with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just more greatness is what it showcases right there. So the 3-point shot, the catch and shoot, that was happening. He went on a 5-0 run by himself in terms of the 2 technical fouls that were called. Zach LaVine took both of those free throws. And then the jump ball that they get, and the next play comes to a catch and shoot from Zach, who drains a 3, coming off a screen. Like, he was on a whole nother level, and doing it, it's one thing to do it against the Washington Wizards, which most teams and most people will probably look at and continue with their crazy narratives about Zach LaVine and the kind of player that he is. Well, yeah, it's against the Wizards. Well, it's nobody, it's whatever. He's taking all the shots. He's a diva. He did it against the Boston Celtics, man. Not only offensively is Boston that deal, but defensively they are that deal. So he's doing it against the Tatum. He's doing it against Brown. He's doing it against Holiday. He's doing it against White. Because everybody got a turn and a look, including Porzingis, coming off of those switches when they were running that. So, he just did all of it. Nothing was forced. Everything was smooth. And that's what he's been all season, consistently smooth. He didn't just start this. He's really been doing it like this all season long. I even like when they asked him about the trades. He was like, look, and I'm paraphrasing when I'm saying this, but he was like, look, man, I can't control that.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about that talk. That talk is going to be there. I can go out there and just control what is happening on the floor. Those are the only things I can worry about and I can control. And that's my philosophy, like how I operate in life. I control what I can control. Everything else around me, you can't do nothing about. It's just going to happen how it is. But you can only control yourself. Saying it like doing, as I tell you all the time, man. But him saying that, but watching him actually do that, on the floor, he is overjoyed when he's watching that. Even the bounce pass he made to Vooch, where he threw it at his ankles, and Vooch wasn't able to get it. You saw the anger in Zach immediately. He's like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, damn, I should have had that one.
He had a lot of creative passes tonight.
Incredibly creative passes, man. Like, it was just everything about it was impressive from Zach LaVine, man. And yeah, man, it was, he deserved that. Like, if you're going to get this win against a team like that, because obviously y'all know where we stand, but if you're going to get this win against a team like that, I'd rather it be this way where I'm showcasing a guy like Zach LaVine against a team like that against the Boston Celtics.
Optimistic Bulls fan in the comments said he was cooking Olympic gold medalist Derrick White. You know who else is an Olympic gold medalist?
Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine. That's right.
Dude, he's so good. He was so good tonight. And it was a pleasure to honestly sit and watch.
It was.
Him do that, man. Like, that dude is so skilled and so good. And when it's cooking like that, especially against one of the best teams in the NBA, it's great to see. It really is. Shout
Paul
out to
asking,
him.
anyone privately ask Zach if he actually wants to be traded? I know you can't answer that. Or are you talking about us? No, I mean, look, what players say on the record and off the record might vary from time to time, but I genuinely believe what Zach had to say today that was reported is honest. And he's playing like it.
Yeah,
like,
he
hey,
is.
if I want to improve my situation, all I know that I can do is go out there and play the best I can play.
Yeah.
And he played like that tonight, and he's played like that a lot this season. We got to take our first quick break here on CHGO Bulls postgame. When we come back, plenty more thoughts on tonight's game. We got over 300 of you, our fellow Bulls fans, hanging out in the comments. Everybody likes a dub.
Hit the likes.
A dub over the Celtics?
Yes.
Hit the like.
Hit the like.
Hit the likes.
Do it for Katie so she doesn't
Give
bite
it a
you.
likes.
Do it so Troll Joe is not released after you like the hound that he is. Listen to
Kicking
these
right
ads.
now.
Hit the like. We'll be right back with more post-game. Throw us a super
Kicking.
chat if you feel like it. Post-game tonight brought to you by our friends at Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary.
Yeah.
Our friends at Sunnyside are here to help you elevate your winter, Chicago. Winter is here.
It's here.
Look at, is the snowball still there?
It
The
is.
one that Jake presented to us in our Coors Light
Some of
bucket
it
for
is
watch
still
along?
there.
Some of it's still there.
It's
Okay.
snowing.
That means it's snowing, man.
Why not head to Sunnyside?
Do it.
It's snowing. Head to Sunnyside. They've got a crazy selection with over 100 different strains to choose from, offering easy online ordering and in-store pickup. That makes them your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. Stop in the store nearest you throughout Illinois for expert guidance from their staff and select from quality lines like Cresco and Florical. And still going on through December 31st, you've got to take advantage of their great Sunnyside Scratch and Stash Rewards program, which is back again this holiday season. Step 1, receive a scratch-off card every single time you shop at Sunnyside, now through December 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Step 2, scratch that card. Step 3, win. That's it. Every single card is a winner. You can win big, even 50% off your whole order, $100 off your order. Hurry in to see what you win with Sunnyside's Scratch and Stash. Visit Sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter promo code HICHGO at checkout. Again, that's HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day, only for 21 and over in Illinois MedCard holders.
He just told you it's wintertime. You look outside and you said to yourself, dang, man, I should have got that car. It's not too late. And the place to do it is I got Ray at Ray Chevy, y'all. Ray, because with 2025 right around the corner, right now is the time to take your chance and save big on your next vehicle. The model year-end sales event is going on right now at Ray Chevrolet. Head in today, to shop their huge selection of new Chevy models with special model year-end prices. Right now, take 10 to 20% off MSRP on select Chevy models or shop over 125 of their vehicles priced under $20,000. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you'll be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. Visit our partner this December at their location on Route 12 in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. And if you heard of Ray Chevrolet, like I know you have, then you have heard of that raised price promise. Of course you have. It's their guarantee to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever with no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees. Ever. That means the incredible prices that we're talking about right now, you can expect to see the very same ones when you shop Ray Chevrolet in store or online. Shop the model year-end sales event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. Ray!
Carrying on CHGO Bulls postgame. Appreciate each and every one of you for joining us and hanging out, talking Bulls with us. There's a lot of talk about the game that Zach had tonight, the recent reports about Zach LaVine garnering interest from certain teams, and the fact that we just beat the Celtics and where they should go from here. I think, we can circle back and talk more about tonight's game, but I think because that's what everybody seems to be talking about in the comments, we can spend this next section talking about that.
Okay.
No expert saying, the way I see it is once the trades are done and Zach and LaVine are gone, I'm guessing you mean Zach and Vooch, and some strategic sitting of Kobe White, Flag is basically as good as ours. Jem, meanwhile, saying there's no guarantees any guy we draft will be good. Grass isn't always greener on the other side. Why can't we just try and add to this to get better? Anthony saying there's a handful of teams out there that would easily take Zach on their team if it wasn't for that contract. Teams don't question that he's a baller. Call me Beer Baron saying, poor Matt, we know he wanted the Bulls to lose every game this season, but if we're going to accidentally win a few, this one was fun on a bun.
Fun on a bun.
I agree with what Dave said a minute ago. Like, anytime I watch my Bulls beat the Celtics, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Screw Boston. For now and forever and for always, screw Boston. I'm not going to complain about tonight's win on the grander scale of what I think the goal of this season should be. But with that win, the Bulls are now 13-15. That is not a team that is putting an emphasis, putting priority on protecting a top 10 pick to add to a young roster that still has these lingering vets on it, that has promising young talent, but no clear answer to who you building your team around.
Mm-hmm.
Bulls fans appear to feel differently about this in every which way, and honestly, I love that about Bulls fans. One of my favorite things about being a Bulls fan and talking with Bulls fans is having different opinions. How freaking boring would it be if we all agreed on everything?
True.
But a win like this against the defending champs in their building is what I think validly has some faction of Bulls fans saying, hey, we're only 2 games under 500 and we just beat the defending champs at their house. Who needs to tank for a top 10 pick when we've got this?
I like how you tried to say it without laughing.
Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, man. That's exactly what a lot of them feel, though. They feel that way. I want them to do the opposite. I mean, that's pretty well stated. My stance hasn't changed on that. That's just how I feel. 13-15, you're right. Watching how they're winning, it's been Vooch and it's been Zach. Those are those two guys, Vooch and Zach. I don't think those guys elevate you as far as this team getting to be better as the years go on because they're on the downsides of their peaks. So that's one way I look at it right there. The other way, obviously, the draft that's coming up, one of the deepest drafts ever in NBA history, and to not have a ticket to that would be a failure, in my opinion. So I've seen it tried this way as far as the Bulls go for it. And let's go ahead and let's go make the playoffs and let's go do those things. I was on that last year. I was like, look, DeMar DeRozan's here. Look, Caruso's here. They're clearly not going to try to, trade those dudes. And you saw they definitely weren't trying to trade those guys. So I was like, fine, go ahead, go to the playoffs, see what happens. We had an idea what was going to go down. But fine, that's what you wanted to do? Cool. If you're telling me keeping it together and intact like this can get the Bulls to the top 5 in the East or something like that, I feel you. Do I believe that? No. Again, watch this game Saturday. I'm very interested in what this game looks like on Saturday. But
Celtics by 20.
Yeah, I'm very interested to look at this. But I just feel the right course of action for this team going forward is to make this trade. I'm just going to say with Denver because that's what's on the table, is to make this trade with Denver, get a guy like MPJ in here, and start your rebuilding. Like, it's time to do that. Like, putting that off for another year by putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound is not going to do anything. Like, you really have to go inside and have this surgery performed. And that's what I think that these kind of trades have to do and be, which is why I like Zach showcasing as he did tonight against this team, because I want other teams to see it. But I feel you, Bulls fans. Trust me, I feel you want to win. Like, you're like, dude, like, all of them right there would feel so close or tantalizing as Matt showed you the carrot and all that other stuff all the time. But, dude, no, man. No, there's a whole field of fresh vegetables we should be trying to get to behind that damn carrot, man.
It's a whole field of fresh beef sandwiches.
Like, just right there. Whatever field you like. Whatever you like in your field, it's back there. And you're right. Maybe the grass is greener on the other side. Like people like saying that, but our green grass here is
Grass
brown.
isn't greener though. It's
But
freaking brown grass
it's
made
brown
of the play-in
grass.
tournament.
That's my point. It is brown grass we're
God's
standing on. This is not green grass.
That is not
right
green
here.
grass.
This is not green grass. So I'm okay with starting this over, man. I haven't gotten off that stance. Like I haven't seen anything to make me want to get off that stance. Guys are playing great. 3-point shooting's amazing. All that is cool, man. I haven't seen it yet to make me get off that stance, and I'm not gonna see it because I really think they should get this pick.
I hear that. And I think I agree, but like I think the important thing to look at is not a great win tonight. It's the trends and what is going on with this team, bigger picture. And right now, this team is 8-6 in their last 14. They are 5-2 in their last 7 games. This is not a team that is trying to be bad. This is not a team that is trying to keep their pick. And the players shouldn't care about that. Why are they working hard to like bring in a good replacement for them? You know, like
completely agree.
That's not on their agenda.
The players or the coach.
And the coach too. So I think this is a front office question of, do we decide to really go for it now with the pick, or do we decide to deal with it this year, see what happens, whether we give up the pick or not, be okay with the outcomes because the guys are playing well and because it's entertaining, and then figure out the rest later down the line. And I think that lack of a plan is problematic, but I also think it's important that you adjust your plan and process when new information comes in. This is not a team that started, 5-15 or, 7-13 or whatever that we thought was going to be the case in the first 20 games. Like this is a much better team than that. And so I think the idea of just trade Zach, keep your pick is not how it's going. Like they've won too many games already. And I know it's still early in the season. It's only 28 games. They're on a better start to the season than the last 2 years. They're 13-15. Like a lot of these teams that are in the top 10 are going to finish with like 20 wins or 25 wins. They're already halfway there. I don't think, I think it's possible that they trade Zach and Vooch tomorrow and then they really bottom out and they finish like 8th, 9th, or 10th. But they're already now 3 games ahead of Brooklyn. They're 2 games ahead of Detroit. Indiana, they're ahead of. I don't think it's like a guarantee that they keep their pick now, even if they do trade those guys.
Right.
And so I think that's the new that's the new variable that they have to start factoring into the equation. If you trade Zach at a loss and you still don't keep your pick, that's even more of a failure than just not keeping your pick, which is already a huge failure, by the way.
No expert in the comments said, we're all worrying too much. Zach and Vooch will get traded. Then we'll slide all the way down to a top 3 pick guaranteed.
There's
then lottery
no
luck
chance of that.
For one, first of all, top 3 pick guaranteed isn't even a thing. What's up, Jay?
Jay Zawoski, ladies and gentlemen.
Luck for one. As Goat just laid out, mentioning some of those teams in the East, plus you've also got New Orleans and Utah and Portland out there in the West. After tonight's win, the Bulls are 11th in the NBA draft lottery standings. 11th. And we are talking about them protecting a top 10 pick. Mm-hmm. And as Goat just said, what do you think? Any of these teams underneath them?
I've got them at 15, by the way.
Are going to, yeah?
In Tankathon right now, they're 15th. They're they're the 8th seed right now. If they were to win the play-in, they would be giving up their pick. So it depends on what happens in the play-in, obviously.
Right.
But they would need to fall out of the play-in.
And then they would record. They have the 11th worst record.
Yeah, in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at Tankathon right now. They're the 15th record.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they're not even in the lottery. And I think I'm just saying, like, Washington's 4-21, New Orleans is 5-23, Utah is 6-20, Toronto is 7-21, Charlotte is 7-20, and they've beaten all those teams.
Right. And it's Portland, not like those teams are going to start suddenly stacking wins in the second half of the season.
Philadelphia is the one team in the top bottom 10 right now that you could see
get themselves together.
Climbing up. Yeah. They're 5 wins ahead of Philly right now. And so let's say Philly jumps up and everything else stays the same. Even if that pushes the Bulls out of the play-in or out of the playoffs and they lose in the play-in, they're giving up the 14th pick or the 13th pick. And like at that point, so I guess it's impossible to like completely remove the pick from the equation, but like if the pick was unprotected and it was going to the Spurs no matter what, how would you feel differently about the Zach LaVine trade? And I think that's kind of starting to creep into the calculus for me, which is like, there's a good chance, I think probably a better chance than not at this point, that they don't keep the pick.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you approach the rest of the season if the pick is not at the forefront? Because that's what we've been saying this whole time. The pick is the most important thing. I still think that's true, but I also think that even if they keep their pick, it's like 9th or 10th, and it's more likely that they're not going to keep it at this point. Obviously, a lot can change, but I just think that that does factor things in, and to me, that would change what I would want in a Zach LaVine trade, because if you're going to rebuild anyway, and I still think you would need to, you got to get some assets somehow. And like, how are you going to do that if you're trading Zach at a loss? And you're not keeping your pick.
I mean, it would put a hit in their production and their win rate if they trade Zach and Vooch. I mean, those guys combined for,
no doubt,
for 50.
But that's
tonight.
still assuming that both of those guys get traded.
Right, which is not a safe assumption.
Is
at
not
this
a safe
point
assumption
at all.
And it assumes that there's like a real reason to trade them. Like keeping your pick is a real reason, but I'm not like thrilled about the idea of trade Zach and trade Vooch right this second just to get rid of them so you can try to keep your pick when the odds of you keeping your pick is still or is lower and lower with every game. I mean,
right.
13 and 15 is, you're not close right now. You are not close. And trading those guys, yes, they'd be worse, but I don't think that puts them in. I mean, I think the chances of them getting into a bottom 6 right now where they're guaranteed to keep their pick is like almost 0. They're just not close to that. And these other teams are just are not going to let them back in.
Yeah. We got to put a quick pause in this conversation, but shout out to Connor real quick, who said, I can't control what the Bulls do, so I'm just going to enjoy the ride and see how things shake out.
Respect.
Guy,
I like that.
I can't even
like
imagine being that free-spirited and just like,
welcome to my brain.
Que sera, sera, as a Bulls fan.
Yeah.
No, I prefer torturing myself
Yes, he
every
does.
minute of every day.
Yes, he
Bless
does.
your heart, Connor.
Oh, it's the look on him, man. But you don't have to torture yourself, and you can come get all of this vibe and hang out with us in a suite. I see that carrot, Briscoe. Briscoe will be there. Briscoe's going to be there,
My
man.
dude.
Oh, the official CHGO Bulls suite takeover. The official takeover for the CHGO Bulls on Derrick Rose night, y'all. January 4th, it is happening. Bulls versus the New York Knicks. Boo them, but
Screw John
yay
Starks.
tips. Yes, John Starks can burn in all of hell. But you can come up in heaven in the suite and hang out with us, man, and have a great time. Swag bag, you're going to get it. I promise you that. And it's going to be awesome because you're going to get that D-Rose hoodie with it. If you ain't seen it, head to the website, take a look at it, say, damn, yeah. And then come on back and know that that's what's going to be in your bag. Also, free food. Also, free drink. Also, that dessert cart going to be there. Katie's going to be there to greet you and say hello. You get to talk and hang out with all of us, man, and plus enjoy all the pomp and circumstance that you know that is going to be going down
Royal
on
fanfare?
Derrick Rose night. Royal fanfare
Royal
should be
fanfare?
on play.
Circumstance?
Yes. Oh, the huge part of it. Are you kidding? Yes. You know Joakim Noah is going to be in the house. Taj Gibson already said he'd be in the house. All the Bulls will be there, man, because that is the respect and love they have for a guy like Derrick Rose. So show your same respect and love. Come join us and hang out with us. And if you're a diehard or if you just want to save some money, you can sign up to be a diehard. Save yourself $100, 100 smackers up off of this deal right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great deal, and it's going to be a great night, and it's going to be great to see you. Come hang out with us, yo. January 4th.
Come hang out, indeed.
It's a great Christmas present. Also,
Look at this, Katie. No expert in the comments doing your job for you, doing our jobs for us. And I think you guys should clip that whole thing from Goat just now as a reality check. It was harsh but true. That's why he's the GOAT.
That's why he's the GOAT.
I love when people do my job for me. It makes me so happy. That means
great.
I get to go to sleep like an hour earlier tonight. Thank you so much.
It's almost as great
No
as someone
expert.
bringing you beef sandwiches.
No expert for Goon of the Night, for real.
Well, was that harsh though? Would we say that was harsh?
Some might call that harsh.
Some might call that harsh.
I thought it was just
I thought it was
you
reality.
telling people what the world is
Yeah.
and the facts that exist within it as a Bulls fan.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I just feel like, yeah, I think that the pick is like, not saying that they're not going to keep it because I don't think that's true. Like, if nothing changes the rest of the way, they don't trade Zach, or maybe they do, Like, I'm not saying they're going to go like rip off a bunch of wins and like get into the playoffs. I just think they're like floating around in this territory of being a little bit too good. And like the risk is, I mean, that's why like at the beginning of the year when I was saying they shouldn't have won that second game against the Bucks or whatever. And people were like, Will, you're crazy. There's 79 games left.
Well, you are kind of crazy.
I know I'm crazy, but like you keep stacking them and all of a sudden you're in this position now. And like, you're still not a good team. You're not a top 6 team. And is top 6 really even like what you're shooting for? I think what you said is a really important piece too, which is like, this is not a situation where they're playing so well and they have their star of the future. Like they still don't have that regardless of what happens this year. And potentially even regardless of whether they keep the pick, because at this point, the odds of them getting into the top 4, I mean, it's going to be like 12, 13%, which is not very high. So I just think that they have kind of put themselves in a really bad spot here by being a little too good. And like, maybe they just ride it out. I'm not saying that that's what they should do, but like, maybe that's what they should do. I don't know.
That's what you should do. Maybe you should do.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to do.
But like, play that scenario out. Like, okay, let's say you keep going as you're going. You finish 10th seed, 9th seed in the East. You lose in the play-in, and you finish with the 10th pick, and you keep your pick. Versus you do all that and you give up the 11th pick. Like, obviously you want to keep the 10th pick, but like the difference there is the pick. It's not changing what happens outcome in terms of the season.
Sure.
But then let's say they trade Zach and one of those two outcomes happen. Like, are we much more bullish about the future if they have traded Zach for, you know, Michael Porter Jr. and Zeke Naji and they still gave up their pick? Like, I don't think that's a better solution.
No.
The idea would be to maximize the value of your pick, to get additional assets. And I just feel like it's kind of too late for that. I mean, maybe it's not, but that's kind of how I'm feeling based on not just tonight, which was obviously a great win. That's going to no doubt build some confidence in that locker room, but the trends, right? I mean, 5-2 in their last 7 games. That's not a team that's close to being in the bottom 10.
That's true. That's true.
Casey Johnson on Twitter just a moment ago, quoting Zach LaVine, quote, "We're a good team. We're competitive," trigger warning, "and we're a resilient group. LaVine told me if left intact, he believes these Bulls can make the playoffs. That would mean the Bulls' first-round pick, top 10 protected, would go to Spurs. Zach, quote, players and coaches never tank."
Again, like, why would they?
Exactly right.
That would be insane for them to do.
Seriously. Like, they shouldn't be. Like, shouldn't even be a thought for them. You know, it's not up to them. It's up to your front office. It's not up to them, man, to change. They're competitors. They're players. You're paying them this amount of money to play well, and they're playing well right now in a way that they haven't seen themselves do in a few years. So Zach hasn't been this healthy in a few years. We've never seen this side of Vooch before. Ayo Dosunmu has been incredible. We got this new guy in Modest Buzelis who looks cool. Julian Phillips is figuring stuff out. Dalen Terry is figuring stuff out. THT came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And is helping them do this. And, oh, yes, they're still Lonzo Ball. So they haven't seen this version of themselves in years. So, of course, they are comfortable with like, yes, dude, we are here. We got it together. It's time for us to go win and do our thing. I have no problem with a player feeling like that. I have no problem with a coach feeling like that. It's not their job to sit there and be like, well, let me just go ahead and throw some air balls. No, you wouldn't even. I wouldn't even want you on the squad because that is not your job to be thinking that way. It is the front office's job to understand what this team is. It is the front office's job to understand the moves that they need to make to get better. It is their job to put those players in position to either succeed or just understand what you are. And it feels like that they just teetering and don't really know.
You mentioned Ayo in there, Dave, and a lot of people in the comments are talking about him. So let's pivot there next and back to tonight's game because Ayo, a team-high 38 minutes. And we were kind of talking about that in the watch-along and the minutes that Billy has been riding on Ayo this season. Ayo finished 7 of 14, 3 of 5 from downtown for 17 points, chipped in 8 boards, 4 dimes, 2 steals for a team best plus 17. Ooh. In the comments, Reginald Short saying, Ayo's one of the stars of the future. Derrick, right on the heels of Reginald, saying, Ayo's not a star. Maybe a very good role player of the future. But, yeah. Colin saying, Ayo still has star potential. Alex saying, Ayo can be a star. Not sure about Kobe. So a lot of love for Ayo. But when we're talking about what this roster is and whether or not it still needs a star, Reginald just said, Ayo will be the next Jrue Holiday. Whew. There's a comp. Incredible game tonight from Ayo. But... and also all season long, Billy's been riding him. I think Ayo is not getting traded before the deadline because he plays like this and Billy loves him.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
I don't think he's getting traded. I think they should explore that, but again, I think that it might just be too late to really believe that like a full sell-off is gonna get you in the bottom 5, which is really where they need to be. Like, I think the difference between keeping the 10th pick and like winning the lottery is so big.
Sure.
And I think that's kind of like, they're just going to need lottery luck now at this point. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Ayo's been tremendous. Like we said at the beginning of the year when he was struggling shooting the ball, like not worried about him because he doesn't, like, obviously that impacts his game and his ability to produce, but like he just does so many other things and he's single-handedly taken over the tempo of this team and like made them a fast-paced team. Alongside obviously other guys, but like he's really the one spearheading it to me, and he's been outstanding. And like Jrue Holiday, I think is a interesting comparison because there's like similarities, obviously.
There's similarities. Yeah.
But that's like when he was at his best, he was the second, maybe third best player on championship team.
Yeah,
like that's a really good player. Mm-hmm. And he's not like a number one offensive option, and I think that's really what I wanted to circle back to. Which is what you said was. Like the guys driving the winning is Zach and Vooch, and Zach is 29 and Vooch is 32 or 33. Mm-hmm. Is that something you can really build around? And so, as great as I was playing, like if you don't have a guy, then it's hard to build around someone. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So that's I think the challenge there. But like I was a great piece. Kobe's a great piece. Patrick did some things today that were good. Modest same. Only 10 minutes though, not 13. Lonzo has been really productive. So there's obviously pieces here. And I think that's kind of the point is like, okay, you unload Zach for Michael Porter Jr. Like you're still probably the 10th best team in the East.
Yeah.
At the worst.
Exactly, man. And yeah, like even if like those guys get you to a certain level in the playoffs, having a Zach and having a Vooch get you to a certain level in the playoffs. And it's not a deep playoff thing. So you think going into next year when Zach is going to be 30, Vooch will be hitting that 34. They're going to rise. Like it gets that's usually this is why we're freaking out over Vooch and what he's doing because it's not normal what he's doing right now. It's not. He's been amazing. Not normal.
High.
So got to make these moves,
which is what Orlando did.
But that's the piece that I think is the most important. Is like, okay, you're going to sell it. You got to get stuff. You can't just give these guys away just to get off of them.
Yeah.
And like that's what I wrote this today about Michael Porter Jr. and like the Bulls not winning a deal, but like the benefit of being able to move forward and start over and have
which is the
youth and keep your pick. Like, what if that's just not in the cards anymore? Like at that point, it's not that you're not getting that value out of the trade. Mm-hmm. So you're really not getting much. And so I just think like, I don't know if there's positive value out there, but like that's what you got to be looking for. Especially if you're not going to be keeping your pick.
Bell of the ball, Zach LaVine. Keep looking at him, 29.
I mean, Connor just asked, crazy idea. Spurs are looking competitive. Could that be a dark horse destination for Zach and we get our pick back? Probably wouldn't make much sense with the sell there, but a man can dream. Somebody else just said a minute ago, like the Bulls can definitely get 2 unprotected firsts for Ayo. Like, I don't know what it is some Bulls fans think they see in potential NBA trades.
Okay.
And also, I don't know what sometimes the Bulls front office thinks they see in potential NBA trades. But like, if you think the Bulls are getting a first for Zach right now, I mean, as a man can dream.
Sure. Never stop.
And if he keeps doing what he did tonight, between now and the trade deadline, then maybe. Mm-hmm. But with him and his contract, which we've been over 1 million times, that's not going to make any team out there eager to throw a first-round pick the Bulls' way to bring in Zach. I've seen people say the Bulls should be able to get a first-round pick for Vooch.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
We've also seen reporting that the Bulls are saying we should get a first-round pick for Vooch.
Yeah.
And I see what you're saying. The whole, like, if part of the benefit of completing the trades is not completing the trades gets these star vets who are leading our wins off the team, so therefore we steer closer to a lottery-level talent because they're winning too many games while they're here, then is that trade really a win even in that sense? Very valid argument.
I guess it's more
I
just
still
like,
say yes.
I think in a lot of these fake trade examples, the value that the Bulls are getting is the pick that their own pick, right? And like, if they aren't getting that, I think it becomes a different proposition. And I think if you're getting the 10th pick, I think that's a different proposition than can you get into the bottom 6? And I don't see that happening anymore.
Hold on. Let's take this break.
Let's take this break real quick. But just real quick, Endgame 2K, I see in the comments saying, FCK the Celtics Heat fan here. Indeed, FCK the Celtics. Well, Will Smith doesn't need to cuss to sell records. Well, I do. So bleep him and bleep you too.
Yo.
You Heat fan.
Yo, hey, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good, man.
Thank you.
Not bad.
Well, let's take this break. Hit the like button. As Mo just said, it's free. It's a free stream. Hit the like button.
Katie, you know what he just quoted?
I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, great.
Because I was trying to get us to the break. I wasn't paying
I
attention.
understand.
Fair
Focus
Fair
there.
enough.
Mhm.
You know what's now, Katie? Do you know what now is? Yeah. Yes, but what kind of break? Because it's an Empire break. With Empire Today, you get job home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire is the best place to get new flooring. Of course, we all know this. So, of course, they have copycats amongst their wannabe competitors. But Empire can't be beat on quality, on service, on speed.
Mm-hmm.
So all their wannabe competitors can try and do is advertise low-quality products that Empire simply won't carry. Empire won't promise the lowest prices because anyone who does is putting flooring in your home that is so crappy that they wouldn't put it in their home.
Bunch of crap.
They're not going to put it in yours. Empire wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You also got to check out Empire's virtual floor designer, which is a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's very easy to use. Just take a picture and then match it up with your different flooring options and the decor of your home, the furniture, the paint colors on the walls. It's a great tool. You should use it.
You should.
Empire also services their own warranties. If an issue does arise, just call Empire. They service all warranties themselves. You don't have to track down any third-party phone numbers, manufacturers' phone numbers.
Oh,
no. Just call Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Schedule a free annual estimate today. All CHGO Bulls listeners can receive a $350 discount when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details. 588-2300. Katie/Sarah.
Empire Today.
Oh, Sarah makes me smile.
Sarah, not even
She's so
producing our
adorable,
show
man.
today, comes in.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Sarah for stepping in there.
Yes.
So adorable. It's the best, man.
Sarah Bear.
Way to be awesome. Way
Sarah
to be
Bear.
awesome, Sarah.
You know why the Bulls
Way to
won
like
tonight?
fun.
You know why the Bulls won tonight?
Because Katie wasn't singing.
Well, no. At the beginning of our watch along, the first comment was Sarah Bear saying "Bull down."
That's true. She hit him with the bull down.
Got that magic sauce.
Watch what I'm about to smack him in the face. Katie, what time is it?
Game time, who?
Take cover.
Right. Game Time has a new feature, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I hurt Matt. It has a new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets for live events easier than ever. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and any live event that you want to go see. Of course, they got that all-in pricing. Of course, they got the lowest price guarantee. And of course, they got that Game Time ticket coverage, which is the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. But you better know they got the Matt, Peck, and Big Dave favorites, seat views. Got to see when we're stretching them legs out. Where can I get the beer? Who is in my line of sight? Where are the stairs and how many of them are there? How can I get out of this quicker? All of this is important Game Time knows it. That's why they give you the seat views. So take the guesswork out of buying those tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use that code CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
That's CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
Download Game Time today. Because my Peck. What time is it? Get out. Katie, how come you never say terms apply?
If you do.
I don't know. I've never thought about singing Terms Apply. I think I would do that one. That's not against my boycott.
Okay. All right. Terms apply.
Wow. What a day. What a night. What a win.
What a day. What a night. What a win.
What a world.
What a time to be alive.
What the F are we doing?
Winning games. Listen, what was it?
I'm so excited for the play-in tournament, you guys. I'm so freaking excited.
6 players in double figures. I mean, Boston obviously was very, very cold tonight, though. Like,
yeah.
The 39% from the field is what they shot.
They didn't manage 40 from the field.
39% from the field. 39.2, excuse me, from the field. 25% from the 3-point line.
Well, that checks out because they chucked up like 56 threes.
Man, they was it was ugly. It was ugly. I mean, Drew
Bulls
Holiday
and Celtics
went 0 for 4.
combined to shoot like what, 110 threes tonight?
Yeah, man. Yeah, something like that.
Chris Dunn.
Chris Dunn, who starts? Yeah. You just saw St. He said, Chris Dunn starts? Like, yeah, bro. Can't get rid of him. That's who he is. But yeah, they didn't play their best game. And it was a game all the way up until the ref said it's not a game anymore. So it's stuff like that I kind of keep in my brain when I'm having these discussions, with Bulls fans who are saying,
right,
oh no, we can beat this, we can take that. I'm like, yeah, but Boston had a off night and not a normal night, and it still was a close game. And the Bulls, they didn't, shoot even, they weren't great in their shooting, but Zach LaVine was great. He was outstanding, and Vooch was great, and he was outstanding, and Ayo Dosunmu was outstanding. So they didn't really have that. They were relying on P-Double. It was relying on Pritchard, to be that guy to kind of carry them out there. I mean, you're watching Tatum miss dunks. You're like, they miss dunks, they miss layups, everything. Like, technical fouls on the coach. He was ready to beat up Tony Brothers and his crew after the game. Like, it was a weird game, for them. So I take that stuff also into accountability with it when I'm thinking about the kind of victory they had. But you still won. You got players in front of you. You can't decide how it's going to happen. You just got to go out there and do your thing. And the Bulls went out there and they did their thing, man. They fought. Anytime Boston tried to run away from them, they wouldn't allow them to do that, man. Got to give them credit.
Bulls set the court on fire.
They did it. That's what they did.
Speaking of setting things on fire, Katie.
Hit me in the face, Katie. I'm going to keep doing that to her until she understands.
She's just going to. Anytime Dave loudly yelled something in Katie's direction.
Until she gets it.
For
Smack
Dave,
him, Katie.
For Dave and for everyone out there, when we have this many people on a stream, this computer runs like molasses. So you got to give me like a
shout out molasses.
Like a 3-minute heads up.
I love the usage of molasses when talking about the slow speed of things.
Yeah, that's true.
There's something just so beautifully back in the day about slow as molasses.
A calmer time.
As a saying.
A calmer time. Yeah.
A calmer time when we were okay with moving at the speed of molasses ourselves.
Tradition.
I love the speed of molasses.
Understanding, yeah.
So what is it that you want?
What time you think it is, Kate?
It's almost the end of the show.
Oh, all right. No, it's okay. No, I got it.
I said speaking of fire.
I got it.
Hit me in the face, Kate.
I got it.
Put
the face and put some stank on it.
Get an explosion.
Beat the man! You gotta beat the man! Now! I'm the man.
Woo! Hit him again, Katie, and put some stank on it.
No.
Oh, that wasn't literal. That was just me quoting Liar Liar. So, Empire Today, Goon of the Night. Floss, no matter what. That's what they do. 588 2300. Go!
I can't pass this one off to Katie. Empire Today.
Today.
Hey.
Yeah, he already went to her once. That,
I passed faked and then I took
that's overkill. Just going into it again. Goon of the Night. Bulls won. Here it is. It looks amazing, doesn't it? It fits around the waist of Will the Goat Gottlieb. Shout out to him. Does it fit around your waist too?
I would.
gotta be
Well, not right now. I don't
Been
want to put
around
no
his
pressure
than
on your
mine.
stomach.
I
sir.
do have a food baby.
Yeah, I don't want to
currently.
put no pressure on that child. No.
Ooh.
Absolutely not. No premature births.
Premature birth.
None of that out here. But Goon of
Gonna
the
need a
night.
new chair over there.
This is what it is, man. I'm gonna go to you, Matt Peck, first. Who is Goon of the night?
Plenty of great candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Zach LaVine, chief among them,
My
36
goodness.
points, very
Yes.
efficiently so, kept the turnovers down. Ayo Dosunmu. Honestly, Joe Mazzulla, solid Goon of the night candidate.
Yes.
My official nomination goes to the emergency jar of Jardiniere that we keep in our office fridge because we got some P-Tills delivered tonight, and my beef was yardless.
It was.
And I was momentarily heartbroken.
You were.
And then, Katie, was it you? Was it you?
It was
Let's
go.
go.
Who said,
It's his glory.
have we checked the office fridge for Jard?
That's it.
Katie went and checked.
Mhm.
There was a pristine, brand new, tall stack jar of Jardiniere.
Yes.
The good stuff.
Slapped a heavy dose of it in my beef sandwich.
He did.
And my life was complete again.
Minute and 36 seconds.
This is how you know CHGO is Chicago ride or die.
Mm.
Oh, crap. My beef sandwich arrived. Sans Jard.
Mm-hmm.
Emergency Jard in the fridge.
Bow.
That jar of Jardiniere is a goddamn champion and an ultimate warrior, and I love and respect it, and I'm going to eat more of it later.
Oh, how can you argue with that kind of logic right there? That's good stuff. Will go Gottlieb. What you got?
I think the Zach nomination is a good one, and I'm not going to vote for him, but I do want to reiterate that his performance was goon-worthy.
It was
And
outstanding.
I think also the quote post-game is very goonly.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
true.
Very
Goonly.
goonly.
It is. Coaches and players don't tank.
Goonly.
I'm going to go with Ayo Dosunmu
Mm-hmm.
because he was very good on defense.
Mm-hmm.
But most importantly, he had that behind-the-back dribble on Drew Holiday
Disgusting.
and then beat him and went for a layup.
Mm-hmm.
He played 38 minutes. Like, nobody else played more than 33. He's just, like, such a goon.
He is.
He's such a goon. I don't know what else to say.
I don't know either. Goonly. I like
Goonly.
it.
Goonly.
Young
Goonly.
Katie. Pew pew.
I have
night.
two picks for Goon of the Night.
Two picks. Goon tonight.
Well, number one, I'd like to give a shout out because several people voted me in the comments for Goon of the Night, and
Hey.
I agree. Anyway,
Can't vote for yourself.
I
Unless
would
you're
like
Dave.
That's right.
to give some love to Matt for Goon of the Night
Mm.
for demolishing.
That's true. What am I
a-
doing?
Yeah, get your head in
Great
the
take.
game, go.
Great take.
I went to Boston and
I-
played like
I
a baller.
I
I just sat
screwed
here
that
on my
up.
fat ass and ate a sandwich.
I screwed that up. Go on, Katie.
Matt literally demolished a beef sandwich on our watch along.
This is what I do.
If you missed our watch along, make sure you catch the next one because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Demolished it and then immediately went back to talking about the Bulls. Like there was really no time in between. It
No
was
meat
like
sweats?
No meat sweats.
None.
No
Done.
delirious.
That's just-
delirious.
This is what I
His skin.
did before it was my job.
Yeah. It's not me, so it's just his skin.
Demolish beef sandwiches, talk about the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Job, no job. Either way, it's what I do.
Don't forget the fries.
Oh, the
And the
beef
fries, yeah.
were
Don't forget the
Lit.
fries.
Yeah, he quietly went for the fries.
Yes, he did.
My real answer is Zach LaVine, and I'll tell you why. Not just because he scored 36 points, not just because he won the game for us, none of that. It's because he has been in trade talks for basically his entire life.
Mhm.
And especially this week heating up. And he went out there and said, trade talks? Yup, get me the F out of here. Like, that was very pointed. The timing was very pointed. And, you know, he couldn't do this against Detroit. We wouldn't have the same reaction, but he knew he was playing the Celtics. He knew the Detroit GM was in our watch-along chat, and he was watching the game. And he's like, you know what? I'm getting myself on a plane. Here we go.
I like that. Very detailed. And her Goon of the Night, Goon. Very nice. Well done. Well, Goon of the Night, ladies and gentlemen. It goes to,
Who's it go to?
the GOAT is correct. It's Ayo Dosunmu.
Hey-o.
Ayo Dosunmu is your Goon of the Night.
Let's go, Ayo.
Let me explain you why, because Will is correct. With that behind the back, that was very disgusting. But it wasn't very disgusting, Will. Very disgusting. But also, it was the fact he continued to go to the bucket time and time and time again. He got blocked at least 4 times. It didn't deter him. It did not stop him. He just continued to do it each and every single time. That is goon stuff. Knowing you might get your head beat in, but you still going in there, that's goon stuff. Also, the only Bull player to fill up the stat line, filled up the stat sheet. He's the only one. Because like them steals, the Bulls had 2 steals. They were both Ayo Dosunmu.
Woo!
And the Bulls team leader in assists, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and Ayo Dosunmu. Team, you want to talk about rebounds? 14 for Vuce. Second, Ayo Dosunmu.
Whew.
Like, Ayo was all over the place doing everything for the Bulls and doing it in 38 minutes. It was amazing to watch. He loves destroying Boston. That young man is awesome. Shout out to him. Ayo Dosunmu, sir, you are the goon of the night.
I love it.
Also,
Also,
I mentioned to Zach. I was mentioning to Matt and his beef jar. I mean, he took it down.
Do you want some royal fanfare? Do you want something else? Do you want nothing? What
I'm cool.
What fits
You know
this
what I mean?
moment?
I'm good. KP. You know me. I'm fine.
Cool.
I'm very chill.
Good. I'm
Whatever
glad.
is thrown at me, I turn it into awesome.
I'm glad. I'm
you know
so
what I mean?
happy.
Let's just be.
Kyle Williams in the
that you love me
comments
so.
said, Ayo's my fave, but Joe Mazzulla was robbed, LMAO.
Joe Mazzulla don't play for the Bulls, brother.
He does not.
Sorry.
Also, speaking of not necessarily goon of the night, but another goon of the day candidate that I don't think anybody's brought up yet. Y'all see Vooch's little back and forth on Twitter earlier today?
I did, yes.
Vooch tweeted, "People that saw Gladiator 2. Thoughts? I was pretty disappointed, and I went in with low expectations already." Some person named Charlie Murphy responded with a joke. "Oh, you should watch that movie in Denver. Heard it's great there. Yuck, yuck, yuck." Vooch's response, "You're thinking about Zach. This is not him." Even the way he phrases Vooch talks in sort of like a awkward, English as a second language kind of accent.
Yes.
This is not him. It's such a weird way to phrase it.
I need you to know this.
Vooch has been getting some jokes off on Twitter recently.
He has.
I love it.
This year, Vooch has
He
been
is
different.
balling out.
Yes, he
He
is.
has 0 Fs left to give.
All-star.
Hey, you want to trade me out of here? Trade me out of here.
All-star.
All-star. Which, by the way, All-Star officially voting open today.
That's right.
Go vote for Vooch.
Go vote for Vooch. Go vote for Zach.
Throw a vote for Zach. He just dropped 36, and he's got 30 in 3 of his last 4.
Get some write-in votes for the GOAT.
Absolutely.
Former starting point guard for the Windy City Bulls.
Look at that quaff.
Oh,
the
look
tryout
at
fresh.
The tryouts. Still number 1 in our hearts.
All right.
Scout team.
We are going to get
Backup
out of here
point
for the
guard.
night, but fear not. We are about to pass the reins. More CHGO coverage for y'all. Blackhawks about to wrap things up. Currently, knock on wood, leading the Kraken 3-1 late in the third period. Our guys, Jay and Mario, will have postgame for y'all live coming up as soon as that one goes final. So keep it right here. Hang out with them. Keep your Chicago sports night going. In the meantime, before we are back on Saturday for Bulls Celtics Part 2, well, actually Part Thrice, follow Will _Gottlieb.
Do it.
Big Dave is at BAW, BAWL Sports.
Bow.
I am Bulls _Peck. We are CHGO _Bulls. Any last second super chats or anything we didn't get to yet, Katie, before we get out of here? Super chat. Oh, Jelly, our guy.
Jelly.
3
Jelly
things we
beans.
learned tonight. We're no longer afraid of Zach bringing the ball up the floor.
Boom.
Correct. 2, Ayo has more than earned that starting spot.
Boom.
Correct.
Bring it home.
3, for 50 likes, Matt will unhinge his jaw like a snake.
Those are all facts, Jelly.
Jelly batted 1,000 with that super chat.
And shout out to y'all almost getting that 200 where Katie has to sing. Almost. You got 120 likes.
Getting close.
Too
Getting
short,
close.
but we pushing,
200
we
likes
pushing.
equals Katie singing people.
Never forget that.
Understand the assignment.
Understand what it is. 200 likes, vocals from young Katie.
And I'll eat a beef while she sings. Why not?
You'll do it.
Pigs tend to
He'll
chew.
do it.
I'd say he eats like a duck. We are off tomorrow. Bulls are off tomorrow. We are back Saturday. Pre-game, 6:30 Central Time for a 7 p.m. tip. Bulls back home. Taking on the Celtics again. Shout out to the one and only queen of the controls, KW. Shout out to Sarah Bear. Singing a little jingle, hanging out with us tonight. And again, keep it right here. Tune in CHGO Blackhawks post-game coming up right around the corner.
Yeah.
See you, Red. Be good.
Peace and love, y'all.
We all silly like the mayor.